Hi everyone, Sandy Grove, registered nurse here with Health Tracks at Home again. This is National Nutrition Month. We're continuing on our talk regarding protein. The need for protein increases after the age of 50. So today I'm going to talk about some creative ways to get some extra protein into your diet. Obviously, what are those best choices of protein, etc., and hopefully teach you some things you don't know. And I hope anyway. So as always, I get my information from reliable sources such as the CDC and the FDA. And if you have any questions, please contact your healthcare provider and they will clarify for you. So the one thing we do need to clarify at this point is, can there be too much protein? And I'm going to talk about that next week. People with kidney disease should always contact their physician before increasing their protein. Just want to say that as a caveat, and we'll talk about it in depth next week. So ways to increase lean protein in your diet. Plant sources. I'm sure most of us know that plant sources have lower fat in them than meats and poultry. So that would be things like beans and peas. They run about 14 to 18 grams of protein per cup. The best ones with the highest amount of protein are pinto beans, lentils, edamame, black beans, and red kidney beans. Nuts and seeds is the next category. That's 6 to 12 grams of protein per ounce. That's a very small amount. So you get a lot for a very small amount. That's the soy nuts and the pumpkin seeds, peanuts, almonds, pistachios, flax, and sunflower seeds are the highest proteins. But then we know that walnuts and almonds, etc., are very good for us as well because of all the omega-3s, etc. But you get a big bang for your buck. Sprinkle it on your salads, etc., with a small amount of nuts and seeds and increase your protein very easily. Obviously, we know soy products are in that category, grains and veggies. Oats, about a cup is 10 grams of protein. Quinoa, about a cup is 8 grams of protein. So those things are good to add as well to your diet. The animal sources of protein, which most of us still eat. I'll start with dairy. Remember to choose those fat-free and low-fat versions, the 1%, etc. Remember, when the fat goes down, the protein goes up. So there's an advantage to the low-fat or non-fat options. The greatest thing to come out in the world is non-fat Greek yogurt. It's very thick, 18 to 25 grams of protein in a very small amount per 6 ounces, and it's low in calories. It can be used instead of sour cream on top of things, in things. Instead of the cream sauces, you can use the Greek yogurt, etc., and get a lot of protein while you're using it. Cottage cheese is always a good one. 1% is probably the best. That's 14 grams of protein per 4 ounces is all. So yes, you can add that to smoothies, etc., and get your protein content up. I researched the best highest protein with the lowest amount of fat cheeses for all of us to be as healthy as possible. Mozzarella comes in number 1, always highest protein and no fat. Parmesan, feta, and goat are the highest levels of protein and less about a fat per 1 ounce. So stick with those if you can. We know about eggs. We know about meat. Choose those lean cuts of meat, loin or round, and 93% or less for your ground beef. And poultry, of course, we remove the skin. And seafood, we know that is a good one, fish and shellfish. Focus on the fresh versus the processed varieties when you get your protein content. 4 ounces gives you a large amount of protein, and you want to stick with that rather than those deli meats, etc. Cooking does matter, and making sure that you're getting leaner meats, etc., when you're preparing. So trim off the fat before you start, and then make sure you drain off all of the excess fat when it's cooked. Do not eat that. Remove your skin, like we said, for the poultry. And baking, broiling, grilling, and steaming do not use as much fat, so they're better for us. If you choose a fat, make sure you choose either a nut or olive oil fat that will make it healthier for you. If you're going to use it, use something that's good for you. Now, here's my suggestions. Here are the lean protein supplements that are out there, and you know some of them, and maybe you don't know some of them. The first one is Boost and Ensure and all of those liquid supplements that are out there. That's the first thing your doctor gives to you when he says, you're losing weight and you need to have more protein in your diet and you need to have more calories. And they run about 10 to 15 grams of protein per drink and about 250 calories. So it's still a good choice. Costco is a good place to get Boost, and they will deliver it to your door. so that you know, but they are, expensive. So then you can get the big jugs of powder, the whey protein or the plant protein, the pea proteins, the soy proteins, etc. They run 20 to 25 grams protein per serving, which is large, and that's why people get these, because they can just take a scoop and put it in something and increase their protein level. One of the things I've mentioned before that I found in the last year is PB Fit, PB like peanut butter. It's peanut butter with the fat removed, and 4 grams per scoop is one tablespoon. So 4 grams of protein. So you get that nice peanut taste, which is nice to add. As I said before, oatmeal. You can put dry oatmeal into things. 1 cup is 10 grams of protein. So you can add that to the soups, smoothies, etc. Powdered milk. This is the one that we've been using for years. As a healthcare professional, I have suggested to patients that are on fixed incomes because 1 cup of powdered milk is 24 grams of protein. If you do not have a lot of money or you're on a fixed income, this is a good choice to get your protein up. You don't got to get the fancy whey proteins and all that stuff. This will do the trick, and you can add it to many different things, soups, drinks, salads, etc. It does have a little different taste, but it does get covered up when you put it in things. So that's all for the protein for this week. COVID update is very short. We all know that we're in the red tier. This means that many things are opening. Go to sandiego.gov and see what's opening in your area and what the recommendations and the restrictions are. Also this week, phase 1C vaccinating now. So that is age 16 to 64 that are at high risk for COVID, and that was mostly autoimmune disease people, cancer, etc. However, the county of San Diego, if you did not know this, added another caveat to the 1C group, which now includes people with type 1 diabetes, hypertension, and asthma, and that pushes you up the list to get your COVID vaccine. So please go to coronavirus-sd.com/vaccine, get vaccinated for COVID-19 phases list, and it will tell you exactly what you need. It's a very detailed little piece of paper. It tells you what 1C is, and this is all the new stuff they just added on. So we're different than the rest of the country, and I appreciate that. So they saw a need and they included it. Now we just got to get the vaccine here so everybody can get their vaccine. So exercise tip of the day, tiny habits. We've been talking about that for the last couple of weeks, and this is adding on to something that you already do, like exercising in the morning when you turn on the coffee. We talked about that, adding, marching in step, etc. But today I want to talk about adding to the places you go walk all the time, or where you go get your exercise. Something that you do to get those miles in that are good for you. Look for areas where you can do something different. There may be a step that's in the middle of your walk. Move to the side, go up and down the step 20 times. The next time you come around, move to the side and go up and down the step 20 times. Try walking up a driveway, walking down the driveway. Those are the little hills. But in the areas that you are exercising, look for opportunities to make it different. It's also good for your mind to switch out something that you are just rotely doing, like walking for a long period of time. One of the places I go walk is Liberty Station, and there's like 3 different paths. That's a good thing to do. Change from by the water to the dirt path to the cement path can give you a little different surfaces, a little different way to do things. Or you could go in and out, which is what I do sometimes, and get a different concept for your body. It just gives it a different way to exercise. Memory preservation tip. Again, another mnemonic. I like this one. I think this is number 5. Rhymes and alliteration. Alliteration is repeating sounds or symbols, in case you forgot what that means. You can even use jokes that are memorable to remember some of those more mundane facts. And one of the best examples of this is the rhyme, 30 days has September, April, June, and November. We all know that one. To remember which months of the year have 30 days in it. We don't even look at a calendar anymore. We just say that in our heads. So that's a really good example of rhymes and alliteration. Try that and see if it can help you to remember some of those things you keep forgetting. Stress reliever tip of the week, and I will close with list. Again, laughter is good medicine. Excuse me. Surround yourself with reminders to lighten up. We all have had those people in our life that we used to work with that put smiley faces on their computer, and they had pins and they were bright colored things. They had funny screensavers. They just had the funny things in their life. We want to take a page out of their book. Try and find those things in your life that make you laugh. A picture of you with a family member that was a fun time in your life. Frame it and stick it up. I have a picture on my refrigerator of my granddaughters and myself baking chocolate chip cookies, and they had chocolate all over their hands. That is one of my favorite pictures. It takes me back to that moment, and I laugh every time I look at it. This is the type of things that's being suggested. Go back in time. This is a good memory preservation and stress reliever. So look for those things that you can do. You remember those little cards we used to get with scripture on them and crazy cats and animals on them and things like that. I have some of those in the drawer. Those are the kind of things that I'm going to stick up during this time to help with stress when I look at it. I have one that says stressed out, and it's a cat stretching off on its back, and it makes me go, okay, deep breath. Now, cats know how to do it. Why don't I? So that's my suggestion for this week. As usual, like I said, I get my information from reliable sources. This was from the FDA, the CDC, and myself, and helpguide.org as well. If you have any questions, please contact your healthcare provider. Until next time, take care. Even if you're fully vaccinated, make sure when you go out into public that you wear those masks, you social distance 6 feet, and wash your hands and stay out of those crowded places. We still have those crazy variants out there that we do not know if they're going to hit us or not. So take care, stay healthy. See you next time.